Hi, my name is Peter Hamilton and this is a presentation on nutrition and digestion. The human alimentary canal is a muscular tube which extends from the mouth to the anus. The canal comprises of a group of organs and glands that's primary function is to facilitate digestion and nutrient absorption. It processes food from ingestion to excretion, ensuring that the essential nutrients are extracted and waste materials are eliminated. Each segment of the canal plays a specialised role in this complex system. The mouth is the entrance to the alimentary canal. Mastication is a form of mechanical digestion. The teeth, cheeks, tongue and the palate help break down food into smaller pieces, which increases the surface area to aid chemical digestion and absorption. Salivary glands in the mouth produce saliva containing the enzyme amylase, which starts to break down carbohydrates into smaller glucose chains. Saliva also provides lubrication. This is a form of chemical digestion. A small amount of nutrients can be absorbed sublingually across the mucous membrane, but this only equates to a tiny amount across the whole digestive tract. The pharynx is a muscular tube that directs air towards the lungs and moves food and liquids into the esophagus. As food moves from the mouth to the pharynx, it's called a bolus at this point. The pharynx is divided into three sections. The nasopharynx, which is located at the top of the throat and connects the nose to the respiratory system. The oropharynx is located in the middle of the throat and connects the mouth to facilitate the movement of food, liquids and air. The hypopharynx is located at the bottom of the pharynx and regulates the movement of food to the esophagus. It also contains the epiglottis, which stops food from entering the trachea. The esophagus is a muscular tube that transports the bolus from the pharynx into the stomach, and it contracts to move the bolus along with the aid of gravity in a process called peristalsis. And the upper and lower esophageal sphincters stop the contents of the stomach from moving the wrong way and any regurgitation of food. The liver is the second largest organ in the body, and it has many different functions, which include the bile production and fat digestion, protein synthesis, processing and storing nutrients, and drug and toxin degradation. The liver consists of 4 lobes surrounded by fibrous connective tissue called Glisson's capsules. And the liver is arranged into functional units called hepatic lobules. Hepatocytes are the main cells in the liver. They have many functions, such as the production of bile used for digestion, storing vitamins and glycogen, synthesizing proteins, and processing toxins. The liver has 2 sources of blood. Oxygenated blood arrives through the hepatic artery, and nutrient-rich blood arrives through the hepatic portal vein. Bile produced in hepatocytes is transported by the bile ducts to the gallbladder. Blood exits the liver through the central vein. The gallbladder is a small organ that is located under the liver, and its main function is to store, concentrate and release bile used to break down fats. The gallbladder aids in chemical digestion by producing bile, and is connected to the biliary system to transport bile between the liver, the bile duct, and the small intestine. The stomach is an expanded portion of the GI tract that partially digests food, which at this point is called chyme, by mechanical and chemical digestion. And the stomach's divided into 4 regions. The cardia is the region that connects the esophagus and contains the cardiac sphincter, which prevents the backflow of the stomach contents into the esophagus. The fundus is located next to the cardia and is the area of the stomach that stores undigested food and gas released during digestion. The body, or the corpus, is the main section of the stomach and secretes digestive enzymes and a protective layer of mucus. The pylorus is the lower part of the stomach that connects to the duodenum, which is the first part of the small intestine. It regulates the passage of chyme into the small intestine through the pyloric sphincter, controlling the rate of digestion and absorption. The stomach wall also contains muscles that contract to churn the contents of the stomach, which is a form of mechanical digestion. The pancreas is a vital organ that aids in chemical digestion and regulates blood sugar levels. The digestive enzymes are secreted from the exocrine glands and work their way to the duodenum via the pancreatic duct. Hormones responsible for controlling blood sugar levels are secreted by the endocrine system. The duodenum is the first section of the small intestine, and it receives chyme from the stomach. Villi in the duodenum increase the surface area for the absorption of nutrients. Brenner's glands secrete alkaline mucus, which help neutralize the strong stomach acid to create a suitable environment for digestive enzymes. Crypts of Leberkuhn secrete extracellular fluid to reduce the viscosity of the chyme. And the ileum is the last part of the small intestine, and it continues the digestion and absorption of the chyme. And the villi in the ileum are more densely packed than the duodenum, which helps with the absorption of vitamin B12. The lining of the ileum also contains Peyer's patches, which are lymphoid tissue that are involved in immune defense against pathogens. The large intestine is a long tubular structure that is involved in the formation of feces and the absorption of nutrients. The cecum receives food from the ileum. The colon absorbs water and nutrients to form a solid feces. Feces is stored in the rectum until pressure triggers receptors that tell the brain it needs to be emptied through defecation. And the anus is the end of the large intestine, and it acts as an exit for the feces. There are 7 requirements for a balanced diet. And the body needs this variety of nutrients to function correctly and stay healthy. Carbohydrates provide energy by breaking down into glucose. Simple carbohydrates are sugars that can be absorbed quickly and provide a rapid energy source. Complex carbohydrates are longer chains of sugars and provide a longer sustained source of energy. Complex carbohydrates can be found in starches from grains, legumes and vegetables. Protein is used for the growth, repair and maintenance of our bodies. Protein is broken down into amino acids, which are used to synthesize muscle. Protein can be found in pulses, nuts, meat and fish, Fats are also another source of energy. Lipids and fats are also a key component in the cell membrane. Saturated fats found in many animal products can increase cholesterol, which is linked with heart disease. Unsaturated fats can be found in nuts, seeds and fish, and are seen as a healthy form of fat. Fibre is another form of carbohydrate that aids in digestion. It also helps regulate blood sugar levels. Fibre can be found in fruits, vegetables and legumes. Vitamins and minerals are a vital component of many different functions in the body, like DNA formation, wound healing and brain function. To ensure you get a wide range of vitamins and minerals, it's important to eat a varied diet. Water performs many vital functions in the body, and it's used in many of the chemical reactions that take place around the body. And it helps maintain pH and electrolyte levels and transports nutrients around the body. And if we don't meet these requirements, it can cause malnutrition and dietary imbalances, and this can result in a variety of different conditions. Stunting is a result from chronic malnutrition from a young age and affects a child's ability to grow and develop. Wasting happens due to acute malnutrition and results in rapid weight loss. Obesity can happen due to overnutrition and results in excessive weight gain, an increased risk of type 2 diabetes and cardiovascular disease. And a deficiency in iron or B12 can result in anemia. It happens when your body struggles to form new red blood cells. And anemia can result in symptoms like fatigue and pale skin. And scurvy happens when you have a deficiency in vitamin C, which is needed for collagen production. And this can result in fatigue, swollen gums, and persistent sores. Osteoporosis is caused by deficiency in calcium and vitamin D, and it results in a person having weak and brittle bones. There's lots of dietary recommendations which are backed by scientific research. And some of these are the NHS Eat Well Guide, which tells us we need to eat a variety of foods from different food groups, including carbohydrates, fruit and vegetables, proteins and dairy. And we also know that that reducing saturated fat, sugar and salt can help reduce obesity, heart disease and high blood pressure. Processed food is often high in these things, so it's best to avoid as much processed food as possible. And it's always good to increase your fibre intake in the form of whole grains, legumes, fruit and vegetables, as this helps improve digestion and reduces blood sugar levels. And we know it's good to eat more unsaturated fats and less saturated fats, because saturated fats can cause cardiac diseases, and unsaturated fats have significant health benefits like lowering risk of cardiovascular disease, cancer, neurodegenerative disease, and respiratory disease. And there's lots of common dietary misconceptions that you can often see online, which aren't backed by decent scientific research. Many fad diets tell you to greatly reduce the amount of carbs that you eat to help you lose weight, but we know that carbohydrates are important for slow energy release and help you feel full, which can help you reduce your calorie intake overall. And you often see that seed oils are bad for you, often from people that eat the carnivore diet. They think it's particularly bad for your health due to the high amounts of linoleic acid that seed oils have. The linoleic acid is actually an amino acid, and they think that it can increase inflammation in your body, which can lead to problems such as heart disease. A recent review of relevant studies shows that linoleic acid actually reduces the risk of heart disease, and many people in Western countries could benefit from increasing their intake. Ironically, the carnivore diet is high in cholesterol, which we know increases your risk of heart disease. And you might often hear that all fat's bad for you and makes you fat. But if you look at people who follow the Mediterranean diet, which is very high in unsaturated fat, and the Mediterranean diet is actually associated with a decreased cardiovascular disease. So, in conclusion, you now know that the alimentary canal is a vital organ system responsible for digestion, nutrient absorption, and waste elimination, which are essential for maintaining proper nutrition and overall health. Digestion works with a combination of mechanical and chemical digestion. And there's 7 requirements for a balanced diet to maintain health and possible consequences if they are not met. And we should avoid diets that are not backed by scientific research. Okay, this is the end of the presentation, and thank you for listening.